think we're up the moment
Yeah.
I push that, but it always is, so we should just be, this is where we need the Madonna home music. Keep it together. Keep it
Right.
together forever
One
and ever.
child grows up to be.
All right, you guys.
I always wonder if Stephen Bray went back and listened to that. Remember we told him about that, Tony?
hmm
And he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I've seen that." And we're like, "Well, you need to go watch that." So I'm always wondering if Stephen Bray went back to Truth or Dare to check that
He
out.
hadn't seen it
I don't
Mm-mm.
know if he hadn't seen it but he was like
or
marveling at
had
the fact that
forgotten it.
he's like, oh, because he had mentioned how Madonna and him loved Sly and the Family Stone. And we were like, oh, so you must love that, the mashup she did for Blonde Ambition. Did she now? And he was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah."
I
And I'm
mean,
like,
I think what happened with him and with a lot of people is like once they're fired, they kind of just put blinders on, you know? They're like, I'm doing something else, you know? I'm
yeah,
doing my
maybe.
eyebrows, you know?
Well, I mean, in a way, it's almost to protect your peace. In a, you know what I mean?
hmm
Like
Yeah,
that has to have been, and we can talk about that a little bit later. But
sure.
just thinking about in the recent events, and I've got some things to say about that. But I got
Well,
something to say
Oh,
about it.
and it goes a little
well,
something like this.
yeah, I think the people that are up in arms need to calm down. It's a business
They need
decision that has
they
nothing to
need to
do with
take a
them at all.
gummy.
Yeah, exactly.
Not these two.
I mean,
Them.
her name is Madonna, not Madonna I take requests, you
That's
know?
right.
Are we live? Are we ready?
We are
Yeah.
live. We have 10 people
Yeah.
currently watching.
Ooh, I love all 10 of
Humble
you.
audience. Hello.
Hello, darlings.
Hi, guys.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna. Louise Veronica Ciccone. Hi, it's Liberty.
Hello, suckers. It's Tony. How are you?
Well, 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 we're back at it again. It's Ben.
And hey, everybody, it's Stefan, your unofficial celebration tour correspondent. We're getting together because we wanted to. That's
Yeah.
that's at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's
We're here to talk about us.
and all that we've been through. We wanted to
Oh,
talk about
God.
me and you. I remember when we first met. You didn't know who
Yeah,
I
the
Oh
was.
my
sound was
God.
terrible.
I
That's
didn't I
what
didn't know who
happened.
I was. We grew up together.
We had one microphone.
Oh my God, I know. People are I like I always see people like podcasting and they have like these elaborate setups. I'm like, I remember our humble beginning. We had one microphone on a table between us.
Mhm.
And a dream.
Yeah.
And here we are on
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
live.
The
Oh my
dream is the most important thing.
There
yes.
you go.
If you dream it, you can make it happen.
That's
hmm
right. Yeah,
How's
and
everybody? Well, Liberty, I was gonna say it's lonely here now in Philadelphia without my buddy Liberty. We I
you're a
got
Oh,
little
used I got
bosom
used
buddies all of
I
a
got used to
sudden.
having her here, and then she was just like that, and just like that, she was gone. Like she was
yeah.
here. We had a fantastic time in Philadelphia. It was a whirlwind trip. Like she arrived, it was and work has been honestly Madonna's tour arriving when work is busy is not a good thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mm-mm.
everything needs to calm down because Madonna's on tour right now. But
It is really hard because you in your heart want to just put everything on hold and do every possible Madonna related or affiliated thing that you can, whether it's, making it to a show or going to a party or whatever, or just chatting with your friends about it. But if you're working and you've got to make that money to be able to see a show,
right.
it's really hard. And I know you have a really busy season and I got a little taste of what Stefan's day to day is like,
I
but
felt so bad. Liberty arrived at my house and she was exhausted because she had gotten up at like 3 in the morning. So she had no sleep. And so
yeah.
she went up to my little guest room to take a nap. And I'm like zooming on work calls and like shouting and screaming, not screaming. I don't scream at work, but like
That's okay.
Liberty comes down. She's like, What's happening? What's going on? Where she didn't even know where she was. Like
Now he had to mute. He had to mute his Zooms because I was up there
she
sawing
comes down in her
logs.
nightgown, in her negligee. And you can see my staircase in the background, and people are like, I'm like covering up my. I was like, I'm like, sorry,
Mm,
that's the cleaning lady.
yeah,
You could have just told them she was your wife, you know?
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, well,
they ain't gonna buy that one, Tony.
I couldn't believe that one. You could have just told
Oh,
him
that's the
like,
old ball and chain coming down. I don't let her
yeah,
out during the work hours.
go back
Mhm.
in your cage. You could have told me something cool like that. But it was actually kind of cool because I mean, obviously having podcasted, all of us to see the day to day is just such a different
Yeah.
experience. But I loved getting to meet Stefan, obviously, and
Yes.
taking a chance to stroll around Philly. And he showed me some amazing stuff, which I posted about. And I was just really, I had such a good time. It was really refreshing because when I came back to, work on Monday, I was not raring to go, but, thankful for a fun little outing away from the hustle and the bustle sort of thing. So,
Well, I was just happy that, so from my vantage point, because I was up by the front of the stage and Liberty was along the runway right
yeah.
near the bedtime story stage. And when I would turn around to see Madonna, I could see Liberty's head. She was just tall enough to be able to peep over the stage. So like her face was like right up, like I could see from her nose up, and because she had her little beret on. And I was so happy because Liberty, there were moments where you were having so much joy
Oh,
watching Madonna, like singing and smiling. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad she finally got to see the
She
show.
finally made her way.
yeah. I mean, I try to really like be in the moment just because Madonna deserves it. And I always think that even though I wanted to take so many more pictures and I would take like half videos and put my phone away, I just thought if I'm not like looking at her and there's the possibility that I'm not, that there's nothing between us, then the intimacy is still there of a show. Whether she can see me or not, I'm not really sure, but you know, it doesn't matter because if it's a connection only in my head, it's still a connection, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a good show. We had a good time.
it was a
Lots
really
of
good show.
thank you to all the listeners who stopped us and took pictures with us. Liberty got a little taste of fame. It was then we'd be like walking around Philadelphia and she'd be like, just no autographs, please. I'm like, Liberty, they're not stopping us. What are you talking about?
Truly, though, I mean, of course, your suit is a showstopper, so there were lots of folks that didn't know who we were or what we were there, like what we do, and they're just like, "Ooh, I love your suit. Ooh, can I take a photo of your suit?" And I think that that just goes to show. I mean, the more extravagant you can get with your outfit, and of course, even like the fan made T-shirts, those are so fun. I know a lot of people put thought into those, and I just like
Yeah.
how creative people can be. Um,
Mhm.
Liberty was crushed though because she desperately wanted to get the Who's That Girl bomber, which made its first appearance at the Philly merch shop. And we stupidly waited until after the show because we're like, we don't want to hold on to the
yeah.
merch. It was gone. It was
Yeah.
sold out at every merch stand. I was like, how is this possible? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I
But,
did, I watched the review video and I didn't realize you guys weren't sitting together.
yeah, we weren't.
Oh,
I bought my ticket
wow.
last minute, which of course
That's
for
true.
people
Yeah.
who went to this recent New York show, that was an impossibility. That was not an option. Most people could not get anything from Ticketmaster last minute. Resellers, yes, but Philly, there were lots of available, really good
Yeah.
availability.
At the
So
last minute too. It's crazy. So check your ticket
yeah, you
vendors
never know. You
because you
just
never
never know.
know. I know.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we weren't sitting together, but it's kind of nice because I could say, "Oh, what I saw from here," and then he's like, "Yeah." He could say he could see something different or similar,
Yeah.
something. We shared experiences that way, so
Yeah,
it's good.
it was fun. Tony, how's everything in your world? How's New York?
It's a lot of work, but last week I got the surprise of my life on Tuesday, the 23rd, about like 8 o'clock. My best friend's like, I couldn't sell these floor seats. You have to go with me.
Oh, so you got to
And
go to the show.
yeah, remember I texted
Oh,
you?
that's right. That's
And
right.
so we're walking and we're walking, and then I'm like, wait a minute, we're here. We were to the left of the stage, towards the end of the catwalk, right on the floor.
Oh,
It was
nice.
it was really great.
Wow.
I could see her facial expressions. It was a really good show. I think I pulled out my phone like maybe 4 times, and I sent those photos to Stefan. But I really paid attention, and it was amazing. It was like seeing a whole another production,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she did Express Yourself, she did Causing a Commotion, kind of like a cappella, whatever. But it was really cool. She was in a great mood. I feel like she sounded a lot better than she did in Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Um, the sound, the way that the sound is configured at Barclays is very different from Madison Square Garden. So I see where she kind of just like lets herself go when she doesn't have to worry about what the sound is going on, what the sound is
Mm.
like in her mic. You could totally see her just being just I don't know. She was just in a really good mood, and it was a really fun night, and um, I was so excited that I got the chance. I mean, that's like everyone's dream come true. It's like, oh, you get a call at 8 o'clock, say, go to the venue, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
And it happened to me, guys.
Mhm.
It was
And
really
it's a
fun,
great
but
seat too.
yeah, it was really great, and no one recognized me, which was fun. So
Oh,
Oh,
it was
you were
quick in
incognito.
and out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but seeing it from a different vantage point, because I've asked Stefan about this like
Hmm.
offline before. Did seeing it from that different vantage point change what was your favorite number or your favorite part of the show?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I used to hate Hung Up, and now I love Hung Up in the show. Well, I mean, I used to hate Hung Up in general. Now I love Hung Up, and I love Hung Up in the show. There's so much energy in that number. Of course, Ray of Light, being so close to the orb above me, it was really cool. Also, like Live to Tell hit really hard because the screens are actually dropping right in front of you,
Hmm.
and it kind of took me aback. And any of the set pieces where all the dancers were on the catwalk were great because you could just really just kind of zone out and watch them and see how much fun they're having, and they really love playing up to the audience, and that's something you couldn't really tell from where I was sitting last time.
yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That is food for thought for our listeners.
Hmm. And I also realized that I can do without the Michael Jackson tribute. Um, like I was laughing with my friend. I was like, I really paid attention to these photos this time of her and Michael Jackson. Those were all taken on the same day. But how many times did they really meet, and how much of his legacy informs her work? I mean,
Mm,
their relationship was basically a missed opportunity. She was supposed to do In the Closet on Dangerous, and their agents couldn't come up with a solution or, a happy medium. So that was it. That was done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of feels off now, seeing it a second time, but
hmm.
that's my opinion.
Oh, well,
But but
here's your inside scoop on the Michael Jackson tribute, by the way, because I was so up close. That is actually not so the dancers that walk behind the screen, that's not their shadows.
Yeah.
That's a pre-recorded video.
Yeah.
oh
I thought they were
yeah.
being backlit and doing that
No.
every time. No, they don't. They go behind the screen and then you see them walk away. And I was like,
Yeah.
But
"Oh,
but you
it's just a video."
to Tony's point about so I deep dived into the dark hole that can be the internet sometimes after I saw the show, there actually are a lot more pictures of them together, particularly early years, like
Hmm.
right after she poached Freddie from Michael,
Yeah.
that they didn't use in that montage. Because you're right, they showed a lot of pictures from the time they went out to dinner when they were when he was recording Dangerous and she had like the stringy blonde
Yeah.
hair, and then the Oscar ones, and I'm like, hold up, hold up, hold up, like they were together a lot more earlier, like between first album Like a Virgin and True Blue, like they were actually around each other a lot more
Right.
because the pictures have surfaced over the years, but they
Yeah.
weren't really like in the tabloids back in the day because there wasn't anything scandalous about it.
Right. But I mean,
So
aside from her
yeah.
sampling, or performing that part of Billie Jean during Virgin Tour, they never
Oh yeah.
collaborated. Not like
Yeah.
she and Prince did.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
well, I was just gonna say I'm still processing some of the ideas of what is the reasoning behind certain things at certain times in the show, because I really feel like there's got to be a bigger message, which is why I have to see it again.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Beth.
when I see it again in February, I'll let you know what else I come up with. It's like,
Is that your San
yeah.
Francisco trip?
yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's so odd. It's like, oh, December, January, and February, I'm going to see Madonna once a month. Something to look forward to,
Wow.
guys.
That's the way to
Yeah.
do it. I'm telling you. I
Yeah,
know
I
I'm
think a lot of that tribute also, because she also, like Whitney got mentioned, but I think she's in that headspace of,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm the last one left,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I,
still standing. Well,
yeah.
Elton John is the only other one.
Okay,
but
yeah,
I
Yeah,
sure.
but
never really looked at him as one of those same on the same level. I mean, Elton John is
He's older too.
right.
yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like
he's like Cher, Tina
Mhm.
Turner, Elton
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
Madonna,
Yeah.
it's like with Madonna, it's always Madonna, Michael Jackson,
George
Prince,
Michael.
Prince, Whitney
George Michael.
Houston, George Michael. Like it's those sort
Yeah.
of those
Hmm.
like 80s icons.
Yeah,
And
and it would have been Janet if Justin hadn't screwed her over. So,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
No, that's a whole other topic of conversation.
yeah, that's a whole other podcast. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, we've already kicked off, but I mean, there's always plenties of goings on in the Madonna verse.
You know she'll take you there. Oh, my voice doesn't
Oh.
sound so good.
You were
Uh,
not prepared for that one, Liberty.
you know she'll take you there.
Oh, there
I'm
we go.
sorry.
There we
It's
go. There we
a
go.
little bit of allergies going on.
Little crystal clear
mhm.
Liberty for you. Well, that's right. Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone. As we know, Madonna is on tour. Shocking,
Oh,
in case you didn't know. And
is she coming to my town?
she was already there,
What
Tony.
time does she go on?
She, my
Will she
God.
1
be doing all the
a.m.
hits?
If I get one more message of somebody asking me what time she went on, it's like, people, just get to the venue when it opens and you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway,
just set up a Google News alert. There's literally a headline about it after every show. She
Yeah.
didn't go on till 11. Oh my
yeah, it's
God.
crazy.
Who's going
The,
to take care of my
the sweet
kids?
spot is the DJ will finish at 9:30, and then if you're not there, good luck.
Good luck.
Well, I wanted to
Right.
talk mostly about Monday's show at MSG in New York City because it was a veritable who's who arriving. Tokischa and Kelly Ripa. And yes, people, don't come at me in the comments. We will get to the other two people that I know you're here for.
Yeah.
Get to them in a minute, but let's talk
Oh,
about the people
Lord.
that were on stage first.
Yeah.
So Keisha, we called
Ooh.
that. We knew that was coming. We've been saying that since the tour was announced that
Yeah.
We
it was
did?
gonna.
Well,
Yeah,
that somehow, if in New York, she could at least figure in the like at least one opportunity for Tokisha to in some capacity be there.
yeah.
Now I
And
don't
then
know
they
that,
were
and there they were,
licking tongues and bumping and
rubbing all
grinding.
over.
But Ben, how did you put it? What did she do?
She was grabbing Madonna's chucha.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry I missed that.
Scientific term.
Oh, the
Well,
pictures were all over Twitter this morning of her giving Madonna the feels.
oh yeah, that's right. It was very like Janet
Mhm.
Jackson in the If video
If.
when she like
Mm-hmm.
grabs under and like grabs the
Mm-hmm.
guy. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah,
All
I'm not
right.
sure how rehearsed that moment was. There were some like kind of awkward, not, I don't know if awkward's the right word, even maybe just like not communicated, like where Tokisha was going versus where Madonna was going to be, but it still was very hot, and probably all that everybody wanted to have in a sapphic hung up with Tokisha version for your eyes to feast upon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was only up there for a couple, like not very long. Like it wasn't the
Yeah,
whole
and I don't know
number.
where she went. Like I
She
watched
just
it
went back
like,
down the stairs
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
because
just
Well,
then Madonna had to launch into the ABBA version of Hung Up, and
yeah.
Tokisha had no part in that. So
um, yeah, I mean, it's the Madonna show, so why would Takesha stay on stage?
yeah.
Yeah, get your 2 minutes and go.
They
Mhm.
It
they
was
really,
cute, but bye-bye.
I mean, according to Madonna's little post today, they really like each other,
Oh
and
yes,
she
she
Oh
got
gave
yeah.
her a
Tokisha
new
gave her a
grill.
new grill that says "Mother."
Mhm.
Yes.
Those were
Thanks,
that actually
thanks,
was cute.
Takesha.
I liked
That's
it.
exactly
Thanks,
what that's
Tokischa.
exactly what we need Madonna to
Yeah.
have. Another grill.
Ah, I
Maybe
can't
she has
wait.
a bottom one that says "fuck her."
Hopefully. Oh my God.
And so then later on in the show, for the Vogue section, we had Madonna BFF Kelly Ripa, who was ecstatic. And in fact, I think the next day, yesterday, Kelly Ripa got very emotional about being on stage with Madonna because
Yeah.
16-year-old Kelly Ripa, who was a fan of Madonna and seeing her for the very first time was
At the same,
apoplectic about
Hmm.
seeing her.
I was watching that little clip as well, and she said she saw it at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Was that the same show you were at?
Blind Ambition?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be. Oh, R.I.P.
Ah.
Spectrum. The Spectrum was such a tiny little venue.
Hmm.
It's amazing how, even though it was tiny, those nosebleed seats were. She was like this blonde little ant dancing
Wow.
or masturbating
Oh
on the bed.
wow.
Like you could barely.
Oh,
Oh my
well.
God.
But yeah, I mean, that was just so special because having known for years and years, I mean, I'm talking like
Oh, she
a
was. Oh, so
long
Madonna did
time.
3 nights at
Yeah.
Spectrum. I wonder which one Kelly Ripa was at. So
Oh, that's
the
true. Who
the
knows?
first night was canceled because of Madonna's throat problems that she was having
Oh.
during Blind Ambition. But we were going to the second night, which was my birthday. And then she did, I don't think she rescheduled that first show. I think so. It was either Kelly Ripa was at my show or the next show. I don't remember.
We're gonna
Yeah.
say the next show for your
Yeah.
benefit.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so good for Kelly. I thought she looked like she was having a blast, and she said that she was like kept turning around to all of her celebrity friends, like, "Can you believe this is happening?" Which would have been me for sure. I don't know what I would have done with myself, but I thought that was really cute because Kelly's so um she's loved Madonna for so long, and even during the Rebel Heart tour, I really had wished she could be the unapologetic bitch because she was at Rebel Heart shows too, and I mean going ham. I mean absolutely nuts. So, and I'm loving that she's talking about it on her show
Yep.
because that's great for Madonna. That's good for Madonna. Really nice publicity.
Totally. Yeah. No, it was great. I loved. Well, but of course, the bigger news at hand was who wasn't on stage with Madonna on
Yeah.
Monday
Okay,
night.
okay. Well, who said they were going to be on stage? See, that's the thing. That's what gets me crazy is people talking about, well, they'll be at the rehearsal in the afternoon and then and it's like, but where are you getting this information from, people, you
I
know?
think
So, of
that
course, we're talking about Niki and Donna, Madonna's former backup singers who featured prominently in many of her previous tours. Obviously, they were in town for their own little shows their pair of shows that they were doing on Saturday and Sunday night. And of course, the rumor mill went crazy. Everyone's like, they're gonna show up at Madonna's show. It's gonna happen, the reunion. And of course, then word gets out that it's confirmed, which we had known, but we didn't want to get the people into a frenzy because look what happens. See,
yeah.
you work people up into a frenzy, promising that they're going to be there, and then everyone's hopes go through the roof. And then when they don't get on stage, everyone's disappointed. So, I mean, I
Well,
get it.
but can we clarify that the chatter about it started after Keith Caulfield and his co-host interviewed Donna and Nikki last week on the Billboard Pop Shop. And at the end, they gave this very strange denial about being on stage. And I thought, I mean, that's clever to get promotion for your show and get people to
Yeah.
go to the gig. But I was like, uh, if you had actually been invited to be on stage, you would be like, you'd either say no or just like no comment or, oh, we're not available. You wouldn't make it sound like you wouldn't
Hmm.
actually acknowledge the possibility of it. Because even though we know like Santa and certain other people have been pulled up at the last minute the day of, I think some of because with these famous people who are busy and they're traveling all over and doing whatnot, like,
Well,
yeah, I don't,
so
I thought it was
Jose Extravaganza was a last minute call up. So I think that people might have suspected maybe Nikki and Donna didn't even know what their part would be, if
Mm-mm.
any, I mean, maybe they were hoping, who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's
Yeah.
there's always an element of manifesting. I understand what you're saying about, I mean, just say straight up no, or we don't think so.
Or we
Or
haven't been asked yet. That's what I
yeah,
would have answered.
yeah, and
I don't feel like there was ever any communication between the two parties. I really don't, you know.
Yeah. But they
well,
stoked the energy of it in that interview if you listen to it. Like if you weren't really paying attention, you just heard the headline, you're like, "Oh, they're going to be there." And it's blah,
Hmm.
blah, blah. But I took away from it. I was like, "Y'all didn't get a phone call and you probably ain't going to after
Yeah.
this." Like,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
yeah, it's hard to say. I think that even just putting it out, like I know that that's what we wanted. I mean, I think a lot of fans wanted to see it happen, but I also think that, I mean, if there's going to be singing going on, that has to be rehearsed. That takes time.
Yeah.
That's not something
Yeah.
that you can just, hey,
Wing.
I mean, Nikki and Donna can sing together pretty effortlessly, but I think that because of the dynamics of the show, they need to know the timing. They need to have in-ear monitors. Like it's not just a
Yeah.
matter of, give them a mic
Right.
and sing this. They've not
Well, and
sung
just get up
together
on
in
stage with
years.
Madonna. Like Madonna wants it to look good. She wants it to sound good because she's going to
Yeah.
know it's going to be all over the place. So
Right.
she's not just going to be like, "Hey girls, I see you in the audience. Come up here. Give those girls a microphone. Let's
Yeah.
do some rain acoustic."
Yeah,
And
you guys know how highly sophisticated the production elements are. No, seriously though, I mean, the way that the show is mixed, the way that the music is mixed, the way that the show is produced doesn't allow for someone to just jump on and do an improvisational moment, you know?
unless it's Tokischa. But
Well,
again, what I mean
but
by that
that
is that,
she wasn't really mic'd up and she wasn't, you know.
well, they've sung together recently.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? They've done something
Right.
together
When was the
recently.
last time Nikki and Donna
Right.
sung together with Madonna?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it's been so long.
Yeah.
They would want to make sure that like they hit the right notes together. That like that's three people singing together.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And further, just because it's a tour looking at Madonna's life and acknowledging the past, which has not been something she's really revisited much publicly, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, we're gonna get, you know, a performance from the past. It's about Madonna. At the end of the day, this is
Yeah.
about her and what her vision is. And if for whatever reason, which we are not privy to, this is the thing, there's like I've seen a lot of people asking, well, why didn't she do that?
Yeah.
Why? Well, we would all love to know why, but part of the magic of Madonna is the mystery.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Madonna.
we don't have to know everything. What you can do is say, wow, all the times that Donna and Nikki had performed with Madonna, how amazing that was, right? How special those things were. We don't need to say, I need a new one right this
Mm-hmm.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And plus, I don't think Madonna wants to compete with Nikki and Donna after all these years of not seeing or, working together or singing together, because their voices are very, they're very well trained. Not to say that Madonna's isn't, but it's a completely different story, you know?
Also, if you look at the footage of the ladies posted, they clearly were having a good time and were not
Mm,
Yeah.
bothered by
yeah,
not being asked
yeah.
up on
It's
stage.
everybody else, right, Ben?
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing was built up based on just things that actually didn't happen and weren't said. And I get it. We would all love to see some kind of current version of Express Yourself from the VMAs. I get it. I
Right.
totally get it. But if that's not going to happen on this tour,
No.
like it's pre-recorded, tracked, everything's timed out. Tokischa just got up there and lip synced her lines that were already in the recording, and they shoved her off the catwalk. Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, in some things, like Liberty
yeah.
said, and like you also kind of mentioned, it's like some things are better left to memory, better left in the past. You don't see Cher recreating the Shoop Shoop song with Christina Ricci and Winona Ryder. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not gonna happen,
Oh my God,
Not gonna
imagine.
happen.
Jeez.
I mean, look, and as I said, I can understand it. A lot of people think, well, this would have been so great for her. It would have been amazing for Madonna, and fans would have been, reinvigorated, whatever. Like if you
Madonna's
think
fine.
it's yet, I mean,
Right.
and I'm guilty of thinking the same. Like, wow, just even a photograph of the three of them in the same room together, or just, you know, Um, but like Donna and Nikki posted their, or Nikki and Donna, that I think it was Donna's page or Nikki and Donna's page on Instagram. It's a video of them singing Rain, and they sort of turn the camera and there's Madonna, and then it's them. So in a way, they did sing
Yeah.
together, and we can take that for what it is, and be thankful that they are both still performing their shows, because their shows look like a total blast. That they both did. They'll be in Seattle later this month or in February. So, if you have the availability, go see them. I
They
think it's
sounded
worth
amazing.
it.
I mean, the clips I saw from the New York shows, they sounded amazing. I loved that they're singing "Nothing Really Matters," and they're
Yeah.
singing a couple Madonna songs, which is really great. I love that.
Yeah. And they have a good time. So I feel like, if you've got availability, you can go and see them, and you
Mhm.
get your fill. You get a
Yeah.
little bit of that nostalgia that you're after.
Right. Well,
Um,
exactly. And if you wanted a reunion with Nikki and Donna, MG Gong got one on
oh, that's right, he
at the show.
did.
He was there
Yeah.
and he got to reunite. It was a little mini girly show reunion. So I was like, good for them. See,
Yeah.
like they get it. Madonna's. Oh, I always freeze on this. Me freezing on the live.
It
And then I
looks like
come
you're
back.
singing.
And then I
Yeah.
come back. It's what, Madonna's okay, Nikki and Donna are okay. Like if it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Yeah,
Um,
it's her bio tour, not
Exactly.
anybody else's. Like, I
And
don't,
you guys
yeah.
know that if they would have done something together, people would be screaming and yelling that, well, why didn't they make a shirt for merch, Or why wasn't I invited? Or, like it's always something with
Yeah,
these.
or disappointed. Oh my gosh, they only did one number,
Yeah.
or oh, they were
yeah,
only
yeah,
Vogue judges. What a missed opportunity.
yeah.
Like,
It's never you're never
there
gonna
is
Yeah.
please
no
everybody.
right. And I think that it was enough for me that they were there, and they were in, I think, the friends section. I don't think that they were necessarily there because like they had to, like everybody else, get a last minute ticket. I think they
Oh
No,
yeah.
were.
that was an invite for sure. And that honestly, I looked at it as that was a Madonna olive branch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like
Like
I'm sure her brother will get the same kind of invite, not necessarily a shout out from the stage or a meet and greet, but I mean
You
that's
think?
I think that's a reach. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
no,
Yeah, that's
I
tough.
mean he goes to her shows. I mean, but like I said, I don't think he's going backstage.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
without getting like doused and voodooed and saged.
sage. I was gonna say
They're gonna douse
smudge him
him in
with
Kabbalah water.
smudge him with
Hmm.
sage. Bless yourself in genuflect.
Yeah, bless yourself
Seriously.
and genuflect and recant all of it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh
But
my
it can't be
God.
easy
Poor
being Madonna's
Christopher.
But so
sisters.
speaking of that show, moving on, I did want to talk about how emotional she was at that show. So I loved the thing that she said during, I think, the very first speech where she said, I don't know when the next time it's going to be that I'm performing in New York, but
Hmm.
I'm going to perform as if this is my last show of the tour and as if it's my first show of the tour. And I was like, somebody had forwarded that to me and I was like, that's a very ominous comment to make.
Mm.
But at the same time, I was like, I looked at it as from an energy perspective where she was like, she's going to give it her all, because I think that's when she, like she's super nervous on her opening night. And then she's like putting it all out there. She's expending all her energy on the last night of a tour. So I love that.
Well,
Well, but also, so the whole speech and the whole tenor of the tour, and her age, like I really think what happened to her has been like a rope back to reality,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like mortality, being faced with it, absolutely has like changed her tenor, and her whole Kabbalah, immortality, live forever, easy ride stuff. I just wonder if she's going to have a big psychological shift, and she acknowledges that this might be the last time she can do a big production like this, which I wouldn't be mad if she did like 6 months at Radio City. Like, bring it on.
well,
I'm into it. Just don't go to Vegas. But
Yeah.
yeah.
maybe some of the things like the music she'd recorded prior, it just doesn't fit her current take on life. I mean, there could be things that she has said in those songs which are not in this message that she keeps giving at every show, which is like
Yeah.
at any second everything can change for you. All of
Hmm.
this can go.
Hmm.
And which is, that's how I treat the shows that I go to of hers. Um that I never know, right? If is this it? Is this the last time I get to see her? Not because of her, but for my life, who knows what
Hmm.
could happen. And um that's how come I was so quick to be like, swipe that card, let's go, celebration tour. I'm going to Philly. Just because life is short. And even though that sounds cliche, I think she's proven it. I think
Yeah.
she really, really realized it. And then honoring her nurse, which she uses the analogy of like she took care of me like a mother, and that it looked like it just was like a sword into her
Oh,
chest.
totally.
It
Yeah, like
knocked
that.
the wind out
Hearing
of her.
her when she was like talking about her nurse Marie, the way it was like a gut punch, like she just like floored herself talking about it. It was really interesting. And to hear her description about like what she was having to do, like the how the woman was
Yeah,
like
That
taking
was
care of
almost too
her.
much for
It
me.
was, it
it was
Oh my
was,
hard.
God.
I was like,
When
oh my
she talked
God.
about
Like,
her legs being so swollen and she couldn't walk, I was like, okay, that's enough. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
yeah,
the
it
imagery.
was, I really do. I mean, I'd heard, we've theorized, we've heard rumors that they're doing a documentary behind the scenes for this tour. And I really,
Oh God, I hope so.
I
Me
hope so,
too.
because I think it would be fantastic. Like, I just really think to be able to see a window into what she's like now, because we always say we get tired of the artifice of the facade, this
The
you
bitchy
know, the
Madonna.
character that she portrays on her Instagram, and we know that that's not how she is all the time. Like that's part of her, but it's not the real her. Like that trailer park Madonna, and like that's not her. You
Yeah.
know, it's fun, but I would love to see a behind the scenes. I just think it would be fascinating.
And I
Well,
feel
and
Hmm.
like
I
it's
think,
time.
yeah, and given the nature of the show and what preceded it in real life, I think it would actually be probably one of the most relatable things she would ever do. Like, I'm just thinking about the Detroit show and the speech she gave about her dad. And if
Yes.
the movie had the behind the stage of what was happening before she came out on stage that made her so emotional that she was talking about aging. And I mean, when because she's always talked about aging as like a defensive thing against the media, but like at that Detroit show, like she actually talked about getting older and how it changes your perspective. And I was just like, oh wow, she's never been so forthright
Yeah.
in such a straightforward way about these topics, right? It's always been
Agreed.
framed in sort of the larger conversations about, you know, misogyny and patriarchy and, I'm still here. It's the bit
Hmm.
the most dangerous thing I could have done. But man, when mortality grabs you by the chucha, it
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
if you can compare the speeches from the Madame X tour to this one, it's a completely different person. In Madame
Mm.
X, it was
Yes.
about, she goes, I'm still here, I'm a badass. She would get political when she needed to, but it was mostly about her being indestructible, being a badass, being a worldly lady. And now she's kind of like, has a worldview and she can read the room,
You
Hmm.
and
know,
it's refreshing to see her like that, like Stefan said.
I would have to say, like, since having gone to the Philadelphia show, and I've had a lot of time to think on the plane and just time in general, just to think about, like, thinking about the way Madam X was. It was only 5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago, and how much has changed in the world, and how it seems she's so different. Maybe a lot of what she learned in the things that occurred on the Madam X tour, she's sort of, kind of pulling from in how she, let's say, relates to the audience now. We're still motherfuckers, but
Yeah.
we are now receiving like a life lesson rather than a, get out and vote, or getting preachy. Sometimes she's still got a little preachy, but like in different shows I've seen, but there isn't this like um anger, or not
Yeah.
anger, but like
Urgency to
Yeah.
get the word out, to change minds, you
And
know?
maybe she wants to say, maybe she's realizing like, I can't change people. Like I actually can't. Like I think a lot of us have that. We face that a little bit in our lives where we're like, I wish this person would just do XYZ. We can't
Mhm.
change others, right? We can only change ourselves. And I think she's asking for us to do that, where, shine your light, be who you are, and bring good things to the world, be good to people and to each, be kind to each other. Don't
Yeah.
be so full of vitriol because it doesn't serve a greater purpose.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, but also she's brought back the original showgirl element from like True Blue and Girly Show, where it's just about putting on the big show too, right? Which
Hmm.
we didn't really get to see a lot of that in this millennium. I mean, Drowned World, there was almost nothing showgirly about that. And Reinvention had its moments, but like Confessions was all like dark and serious, so it's kind of nice to see that element paired with this new thing. And it's like, oh, this is like a 21st century version of that original spirit.
Mhm.
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
No, it's
So
I mean I love it. I don't know. I know Liberty she's got two more shows coming up. Tony's got another show coming up. Ben, are you seeing the show again?
I have no idea.
Because right
I
now I don't have another show on the horizon yet, but I kind of feel like I need to. Like I might take a break, but I kind of feel like
For
Liberty
me, it's three times is a charm. I think three is the perfect number, you know?
mhm.
and San Francisco is a great place to see a show.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
and I'm
good
gonna have
Madonna
and
tune.
I'm gonna have
Mm.
nosebleed seats, so it'll be a different view.
Maybe you'll get, wear a
Fascinating.
fun t-shirt. Maybe you'll get moved to the pit.
You never know. I mean, I think that there's an element of just if I can see another show, right, I'll be so excited. But let the universe like
Yeah.
make all of those things. One of the quotes that I reread because I know the quote already, but of Madonna's is if you really want something bad enough, the universe will conspire for you
Hmm.
to have it. And I really felt like me getting to go to Philadelphia was what like that was it
Hmm.
because I didn't know I was going to go till the week before. I didn't know that there would be any seats available and there were. I didn't know that it was going to be okay with my family for me to leave for a few days and all of those things. And then when
Liberty,
I
your
got
sons didn't
there,
even know you were gone.
I
Liberty calls.
know.
Liberty calls them when she gets to my house. The kid thought she was upstairs. He's like, "Mom, can you come downstairs and help me with this?" She's like, "Honey, I'm not home.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
You
yeah.
in
are
Philadelphia."
joking.
no, my older one was
Kids.
like, "Hey mom, can you come and pick me up?" I was like, "It'll be a couple of hours because I'm in a different state."
Oh my
He
Lord.
forgot. I know. He's a teenager. They've got other things
They
going
don't.
on.
They don't pay attention.
Teenagers.
Well,
Like
I want the universe to conspire to get me to see the show in Austin. I would love to see Madonna in Texas again, and I could see my friends Liberty and Shannon and Whitney
Yeah.
and everyone, and eat
Wait,
Tex-Mex until I drop.
what's the dates? What are the dates on
it's a
Austin? I
Sunday,
can't.
Monday, right?
April
And
14, 15, I think.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
that's far removed enough away for me to maybe justify that. Okay, what night are
yeah,
you going?
she's going
I have
both
tickets for
nights.
both.
oh wow.
All right, well, if I end up going to one, at least I'll know you'll be there
I'll be there. I'm
with
gonna be there.
with queso.
Yes. Just have a little sliver right here for a little snack,
Not, but don't
right around erotica. I'm just gonna
don't wear the "Who's That Girl" bomber and have queso at the same time because they do not
No,
absolutely
mix.
not.
no.
No.
That is a no-no.
Wait, are you saying I'm gonna get the Who's That Girl bomber?
You know
Yeah,
you're getting it.
the
You know you're
universe
gonna
is
get it.
Oh, by the way, guys, I was walking in Hell's Kitchen / Midtown where I work, and just I don't know, I guess I'm used to seeing it, but it just like caught my eye. I was like, oh, somebody's wearing a Blonde Ambition bomber jacket. It's just
Oh
Oh,
wow.
They're everywhere.
out in the wild.
It's fun
I
when you
love
don't
those.
expect it. When it's
Yeah,
not at a Madonna concert, you're like, "Oh, there's Madonna."
yeah,
I've had a couple people ask me, "What's that crown for on the back?"
really.
Baby.
Seriously.
Tell them watch Truth or Dare, and then we'll talk.
Super
Yeah.
secret club you can't get
Yeah.
into.
Mhm.
Well, another thing that happened yesterday was and I can't believe I'm going to be able to say this, the 40th anniversary of the day Madonna filmed her Borderline video with
Oh
director
my
Mary
gosh.
Lambert,
Oh
which
my
is
God.
like my brain's exploding thinking
Yeah.
about that. That was I'm like, I remember watching that on MTV.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the first time
Mhm.
I ever saw her in any way, shape, or form in a Borderline video.
Yep. Wow.
So yeah, hi, old.
I know, seriously. I was like, ooh, I know. Like, speaking of, post your picture of you at 21. I'm like, no, thank
No,
you. No. I
mine doesn't
no,
exist. We
I'm
didn't
not
Yeah,
have
I'm
them
mine
I'm
back
not
then.
showing
neither.
that. I'm not showing that. Like, I'm just gonna post a picture of me today and be like, yeah, this was me at 21. Look how ageless I am. Or people
Oh
would
my
be like,
God.
Stephanie, you look like crap at 21.
My Polaroids all turned yellow, you know?
Well, I had this
21 is such a blur.
because of Bedtime Story. So Bedtime Story was out when I would think I was 20, 19, 20, somewhere around there. And because of that angle when she has the sunflowers floating around, like closing and spinning around behind her, it's like that angle where she's like over and she's like her, like basically like the Who's That Girl t-shirt where it's just her eyes looking up.
Hmm.
And I was obsessed with that. And so because we all had point and shoot cameras back in the day, from like 1995 when that video premiered until like the late like 98 or 2000, I went through a very bad habit of sneaking pictures where I would hold the camera up to get that angle of me and snap a picture. So if you had a point and shoot camera and you were friends with me from like 95 to 2000, 95 to like 2000, you had a picture of me doing what I called the bedtime story picture. I loved when I would go to a wedding and they would have cameras on all the tables
Oh
because when
yeah.
everyone was out dancing, I
You
would go
did
to
one
each
picture of
table
yourself.
and just take it on every camera because I was like, so if you have a picture of me doing a bedtime story photo, send it my way.
Okay, now this is a perfect time for me to ask all of us. Did you ever recreate a Madonna photo? Be honest.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
Liberty and I did Desperately Seeking Susan photo
Oh, that's
shoot,
right. Yeah, we
Oh, I
did.
want to see those. Well,
which I gotta say was pretty fucking fantastic.
Those were good.
I don't know where these are, but I'm sure they'll show up. I once enlisted an ex-boyfriend years ago. This is 90s. We did the night before, morning after, like a virgin photo shoot.
Oh, you have to find those, Tony.
I
Where
mean,
are those?
I wasn't wearing a wedding dress, but you know, it was
What
Mhm.
were you
very
wearing?
similar stuff. But it was in black and white, and it was very like, you know, and the leg up and putting on the stocking. Yeah, it was
Oh,
good.
I have far too many Madonna homage photos. Like I've done so many. In fact, I've just called this one up. I don't know if you can
Oh
see it.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
It's
Wow.
the cover of Rebel Heart. If you're able to see that,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
and it is actual cord on my face. That is not.
Oh,
It was
Oh
not photoshopped.
wow.
I actually wrapped my head with that. It took way too long. But yeah, I have lots of fun doing
I've
Madonna
only done
homage.
it for when you've asked us to do it for the podcast.
what? I could have,
Like,
you know, you give me like, you're giving me like early 1993 erotica photo shoot, you know?
Yeah, Ben, you need to get on that. I know.
yeah. I was never, it's so funny because you're talking about the point and shoots and taking selfies. I never took pictures of myself. There's like a whole period of the early 90s. There are no photographs of me unless it's at somebody's wedding or a
Yeah.
funeral.
Yeah, same here,
Really?
same here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was so
And
narcissistic in
I looked
college.
so weird because I was like 3 inches shorter and like 40 pounds heavier. Like I don't even look like the same person.
Well, but Ben, you made up for that lack of photos once Instagram came
Oh, yes,
around.
yes, yes.
Oh, even before Instagram, like,
And
yeah,
trust me, you're bearing it all.
yeah. Oh no, I like in the mid 2010s, I did quite a bit of like naked modeling. That was fine. I was like, I'm 40 and I'm
Like
feeling
Madonna,
it.
you
I'm gonna
gotta pay
do
your
it.
bills
Yeah.
somehow, you know?
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
wasn't
mean,
paying any bills. I was just
yeah,
having fun.
They just like
yeah,
being naked.
yeah, I did that in
It
my
wasn't even that. It wasn't even that, Liberty. I just enjoyed the experience.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I did that in my 20s when I moved to New York. I posed undraped for like photographers, and I was like Madonna did it. Why can't I do
Yeah.
it? You know?
That's right. That's right.
However, my photos were not sold to Playboy or Penthouse.
Oh.
So you have
Were they
nothing
in
to
like
regret.
were they in like HX or Next magazine in the little remember
No!
remember those free gay magazines? Do they still do those?
Hmm.
I don't even know if they're in the gay
No, they're
market
I
all
anymore.
gone.
I
Oh.
didn't even end up in a
Oh.
free publication. I'm sure I'm like in.
Oh, I figured you were like maybe like somebody used them. Like remember in the back of HX, they always had like they had like the gay personal ads, and it was all these like blurred out pictures of like guys with their hard-ons. Like,
Yeah, those were
Oh
hookers,
yeah.
Stefan.
oh,
Yeah, those were prostitutes, Stefan.
well, we all got to make a living somehow. Let's not shame sex workers.
No, not at all. But in the 90s, they were called hookers. Let's.
I mean, if
Yeah.
like, I'm sure, no, I'm sure if you're a sex worker, you probably have no problem getting pit tickets to a
I was
Madonna
gonna
show.
say
So,
No.
that's a nice little side gig for
anyway, moving on. Another anniversary that just took place today or yesterday. I'm blanking on the days. Work is my job is so
2 days ago.
insane. It's 2 days ago. The release of the Keep It Together remixes on streaming in honor of the 34th anniversary of the release of that single. I'm like, how many more anniversaries can make us feel old?
Well, every
Yeah.
year. But you guys, I'm so happy this finally came out on streaming. This is my favorite remix ever of any Madonna song.
Oh.
The
Really?
second extended remix that was basically a rip off of Soul to Soul. Thank you, Chef
Yes,
Pettibone.
yes.
Yeah. But that was my vibe at the time. And that track never gets old. We've had it
Mhm.
streaming for a while because it ended up in the Like a Prayer 30th anniversary. But
Right.
now to have
Yeah.
all of them with the cover art is lovely.
Yeah.
It's so
But did you
awesome.
notice they switched the cover art? So
Yeah.
the cover art that I have, she used to face herself, and
hmm
now she's facing away.
hmm
Mm.
Somebody get Herb Ritz on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's not
Oh,
around.
stop
Yeah.
it.
Let's not. Yeah.
No, I mean someone screwed up and it wasn't Herb Ritz. That's what I
Oh,
meant
but
to
I see. I wondered if
say.
they did that as like a now it's new, it's fresh. Like I wondered if they meant to do that on purpose because
Maybe.
the quality of the images is like tack sharp.
Yeah. Or
Like
maybe the
Well,
20-year-old that was tasked to do it had no idea what the original source
The
material was.
intern didn't have a clue.
yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, there could be some sort of metaphor, right? I mean,
Or
I
it
don't know.
might have been Stella that did it because she's not really working this tour,
She did it on Pixlr on her
Yeah.
phone.
Like Astaire's on stage, voguing, and then David Banda's doing Prince,
No, I thought
and
Stella isn't Stella what Stella's on.
Isn't
she's the DJ, right? Isn't she?
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
DJing
yeah.
during Vogue. Yeah.
No, there's like two parts where they're like where the twins are on
And don't tell
stage.
me, don't tell me.
Why do I have
Oh,
balloons?
that's right.
What was
Yeah.
that, Liberty?
I
What
don't
was
know. Why did I
that?
get
Did you just have
balloons?
balloons float up in front of
Balloons?
you?
Hey, when you want something bad enough,
How did you do
universe
that?
will-
I'm
I
curious how
don't.
you
I
did
did. I
that.
did literally touch nothing. I'm just lucky enough to have
You're
balloons. I
just you have a party. It's a party at
guess.
Liberty's.
That's
I want
weird.
balloons.
I know. I don't know how you
Are we
but
being hacked?
can you do the heart? Remember, like can you put your fingers up and do the heart? I think you might have something turned on where yep, see?
Oh, she's got the
See,
hand gesture thing turned
yeah, she's got some
on.
hand gesture thing
Okay, let me
turned
try
on.
this one. Oh wait,
That's no Liberty, that's the hand
that
job
doesn't
gesture.
work.
That's the hand job gesture. Oh, you were giving face.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't do anything. This is
No,
You have to turn it on under more.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you have
turn
know
it
that I
on.
did that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you're
we'll-
welcome,
we'll-
kids,
we'll-
for the
we'll
show.
figure that. We'll figure
But
that
what
out
did I
there.
do that got balloons?
I
That's
don't know.
interesting.
That was interesting. That was a little.
Oh, it's not working for me.
Now
I turned it
everyone's
on, but it's still
giving
not
for
working.
those of you
Whatever.
not watching.
Now we're being
now
like 12
everyone
year olds.
is like little kids. We're trying to do random hand gestures. Um,
How's
so
the
you could
chat?
do. Oh, if you do the die another day hand gestures.
yeah, Liberty. Let's check in with the chat.
The chat has been very busy. I mean, we kind of moved on from the Niki and Donna stuff, and a lot of people were. Then there were a whole bunch of people telling us all to come see the show in LA.
We'd love
to.
Several people who are here tonight are going to be at the Austin shows, actually, including a couple people. It will be their first Madonna concert.
Ooh,
Ever?
what a
Love it.
stitch.
Yeah. And then a lot of people agreed with what we were saying about her changed attitude and like mortality, and that it's a different energy. And
Yeah.
a couple people admitted to doing Madonna photo shoots of the Rebel Heart cover. And then somebody did Like a Virgin. I was in my Nightwing cosplay.
Oh,
That's different. That's unlike a virgin, but
what is your
yeah.
name?
And
Satan?
no, they did the Die Another Day dance and summoned up a
Yeah.
phallic demon.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness. But
I
yeah,
would
that
love
pretty
to do
much.
LA. LA would be so fun to do
Oh,
because
100%.
you know that's going to be such a scene with so many celebrities at every
I
show.
I predict
Yeah.
Britney Spears on
Oh,
stage.
she
Oh
has
God.
to.
We're
Come on.
hopeful.
Like if there's anything that needs to happen, Britney on stage with Madonna, it
Yeah.
has to. That would be
I
amazing.
don't know. I feel like she'll have Justin because he has a new album
No.
coming
No,
out.
no, no, but
No,
no, his
that would
his
be
music
terrible PR for
His new
Madonna.
song is awful. I totally agree. But
and
People
and
would vlog Madonna if she brought Justin up.
also if you
uh,
notice none of his work from Hard
oh,
Candy
that's true.
in the
That's
show,
true.
you
You're
know.
right.
Not even
She's chosen a
sample,
side.
nothing, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Which
I
I'm not
know.
mad about not hearing 4
R.I.P. Candy
minutes.
Shop.
I know, no candy shop.
Get up out
Well,
of your seat.
but Candy Shop was Pharrell, so I think that could still come back somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the 2.0 version of the show.
Poor
Brazil.
Brittany. She just, poor thing.
I know,
I wouldn't drag
it's-
her up on stage. Oh,
She'd have fun during the Vogue
She
ball.
did. She
Yeah.
would dance. At
I
least
guess
we
she
know
could
that.
do that.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
Vogue ball.
she would lose her mind if she were like getting, railed by one of the dancers, and she was holding up like going, "Y'all look!" You know?
Oh, I
Just
don't
no
know.
knives, Brittany. No knives.
Uh, that poor child.
I know. I mean, good thing it's not Drowned World. There would be a big samurai sword on stage, and
Oh,
we'd have a problem.
Oh my Lord.
oh. I'm
You
more
know,
curious about who the guest judges will be in some of the other cities, like
Yeah.
Like
Austin and
Austin.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
drag
like
queens. I'm telling you, it'll be drag
I would
queens.
imagine drag queens for sure. I mean, Austin,
Yeah.
I'm sure has a plethora of
Liberty,
folks.
maybe Liberty will get dragged up
Yeah.
in
Houston
Austin.
has an amazing drag scene, I think. Dallas too. So,
But is she
um,
only going to Austin for Texas?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Which is weird because,
Well, no, she's got
No,
Houston and
no.
Dallas. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
okay,
Excuse me.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just thinking of myself again.
Yeah.
Where I only have Austin presently, but you never know. Things can, like, I mean, it would be so amazing if somebody was like, "Hey, here is a ticket in LA," because
Yeah.
I have off that week. It's spring
Mhm.
break, and so I
Yeah,
could do
so
that.
whoever wants to send a plane, you can send it to the East
No,
Coast.
I know,
can
seriously.
meet.
Send a ticket. We're more than
Yeah.
happy to join you. If you need a +1 to any celebration tour show in the coming weeks, think of MLVC as your +1. We're more than happy to come.
Yeah, a +4
And
actually.
then you'll get to
+4.
be on the show.
Yeah. And
oh
we won't
Lord.
even charge you.
That's your gift. Thanks.
Yeah, but even if I don't get to, I feel pretty, like I feel satisfied that I have seen it because I really was feeling not satisfied. I was very
No,
unhappy.
Liberty was like, "Do you think I'm satisfied?"
Yeah. I'd like to express my extreme point of view. I need to
Yeah.
see Madonna right now.
All right, you did. Calm down.
Did okay.
But think about the delay of your Vancouver experience. What happened in the aftermath, right? You got to go to Philly and hang out with Stefan and see the show, probably better seats, and you had
Yeah.
such a positive experience.
I'm
See
telling
how-
you, like universe. If
Yeah.
The universe took care of you.
Yeah.
It was full
Look-
of stars.
Just like what happened with me last week, if that show had happened in October when it was supposed to, or back in July when it was supposed to, I wouldn't have been on the floor looking up at Madonna,
Right, right. Yeah.
So thanks, rescheduling.
Yeah.
and that's that story.
hmm
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Well,
About Madonna.
I think that's a great way to end our show for the week. Remember, everybody, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that subscribe button so
Do it.
you never miss a video. We're going to be doing shows for the remainder of the tour and then some. We're not going away. You can't get rid of us.
Mm-mm.
We're just we're just here.
We go hard or we go home.
Exactly.
But we're actually home right now, so it's
so hit that subscribe button, and until next time, everybody, nothing really matters. Love is all you need.
Love is all
Keep
you
it
need.
together. Right. Oh, Liberty, take us out with a little keep it
In our
together.
podcast family.
One child.
That's not keep it
grows up to be-
together.
That's my
That's
favorite
not keep it
version.
together. That's family
Stop.
affair.
I was gonna say that's family affair.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
now y'all sound like family.
I got brothers.
I got brothers. I got some sisters too. Stuck in the middle. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave this place so I can forget every single hungry face. When I get
I was gonna say you don't have to keep going.
I'm like, are we about to get into copyright problems?
I know, right?
Yeah, Warner Brothers is gonna be like, you can no longer monetize this. All right,
Oh my
bye everybody. Well,
Keep
except
it
well,
together.
you guys stay on the
Blah.
phone, but